Hi everyone, sorry for the delay. My mum did the recycling bin this week, which left me short of bottles. So we're going to make some bird feeders. This does involve some difficult cutting, so adults please help. I don't want there to be any accidents. So first up, we're going to use a milk carton or juice carton. These are great because they're waterproof and fairly easy to cut. Here's one I made earlier. The way I did it is cover it in white paper, then draw the design that you want on, and then if you cut it out, this is the point where the adults help. Knife, scissors, whichever is easiest for you. Doesn't really make much difference. So I've left a wing on the side of mine. Gives it a little bit more protection, but in the end it will still look like a bird. You can make them look however you like. So I've got a house and my bird once I finish him. So really use your imagination and make them look however you like. So once you've done your design, next thing you need to do is make 2 holes in the sides so that you can have something to hang them up with. You can make the holes with a pencil or a knife, again whichever's easiest for you. Find it easiest to get the string through with a pencil, so post it through, and all you've got to do is pull it from the inside. So if you post both ends, one in each hole, it's the easiest way I've found it. And then once you've got both ends into the middle where you'll put the feed, take both ends, tie them into a knot. Doesn't really matter which knot, but reef knot's probably the strongest. And there we go. Once I've finished decorating him, he's ready to be hung. These ones, being slightly deeper at the front, can be used for water. Also, as I said, they're waterproof, so it doesn't matter if you put water in them. So yeah, you've got 2 designs there, but use your imagination and do something that you like. So next we are going to do a pine cone. I did make one earlier. Here he is. You may find pine cones if you go for a walk, but you do have a second option if you don't find pine cones when you go for a walk. You can use a yoghurt pot or a bottle top. That's what I actually used. Is a top of a bottle and a stick, literally from my garden, and a bit of string. You don't have to turn this one out. It can just be left as it is. So what you want to do is, on your stick, tie a piece of string and then feed it through the middle of whatever you're using. So if you're using a margarine tub, make a hole in one side so that you can have it out the other from the stick. You want it opposite sides, the tail of your string and your stick. So the mixture that's coating the pine cone and filling that is lard or just a hard fat and some birdseed. With your pine cone, first thing you want to do is tie your piece of string on, just near the top. Again, doesn't really matter which knot, reef knots will always be strongest. So tie that nice and tightly. Really knead your seed and your lard or fat together, and then literally just coat your pine cone or fill your container like this with the pine cone. Work it in between each of the sections Once you've got it all covered, or all filled, they'll look like this, and then they're ready to be hung out for your birds. So the next one we're going to do is made of 2 bottles. Looks a little bit like this one. So what we're going to start off with is 1 bottle. This was 1 bottle that I've cut in half. And then you want a slightly bigger bottle so that you create a lid so that the food that you put in your bird feeder won't get wet. So cut your bottle in half. On the bottom half you want to cut some little windows. I've only cut 1 so far in this one, but if you look at this one, I've cut 2, 1 on each side, so plenty of room for your birdies to be able to get to the food. So now the bottom half of the bottle is ready. The top half, what you want to do is make 2 holes, level as you can, and in the what was the base of the bottle, you will want 2 holes as well, which match the ones that you've done on the bottle. Then what you're going to do is you're going to feed your string. Again, you can use your pencil to post it through, might be easier. So what you would feed the string through the lid that is now your lid, and then through the first hole on your bottle and tie a knot. I'm going to tie a couple of knots so that the string can't pull through. So that's one side done. So I'm going to do the other side. Again, through what is now your lid, then through your bottle, tie your knots, and that bit is now ready. So what we now want to do, make sure we've taken the lid off of our bottle, and then if we sit the 2 pieces together like that, get some tape, run it just round where the two sections join. And that is now ready to have your food put in, and it won't spill because the feed will get to the bottle top and won't go any further. So that's that one. Again, you can decorate them however you like. Just remember, 1 bottle for the lid needs to be slightly bigger than the bottle that you're using as the main feeder. So it just sits on top. Okay, last one we're going to do is what I call an umbrella. It looks like this. So the top one protects where the food is so it doesn't get wet like an umbrella would. So what we need are 2 bottle tops, about a third, not even that, but making sure one is bigger than the other. The bigger one goes on the top. Now on the smaller one, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to melt the edge. Adults, another point where you need to help. I've done it on my hot plate that I've got here. Literally melt it slightly, but make sure you put a piece of grease proof on before your plastic, because otherwise you're going to have plastic stuck to your whatever you're using for heat, which is not good if you're using your iron. So we're just making sure that the birds don't have anything sharp, and they've got a slightly bigger perch for them to sit on around the edge for when they take their food. Last thing that we need for this bird feeder is a straight-ish piece of plastic. So you can use this from the middle of the bottle. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll this. And we'll tape it in a minute, but it just gives it this straight bit here so that it's nice and solid. So the easiest way to get this rolled and taped is to use one of your other bottle tops. If you slide it on about halfway, then get some tape and wrap that round. Then if we continue sliding this down, it means we get the same size all the way down. The second piece of tape on. You don't have to put two, you can just put one in the middle. And you can make this out of any size bottles, really. So if you've got bigger bottles, you can use bigger bottles. I mean, this one was a 2 litre water bottle, and this one a 1 litre. This was also a 1 litre, and this was just a normal size Fanta bottle. You can make them out of any size bottles you want. So to put this together, what we're going to do is pick up the right piece of string. We're going to need to make holes in our bottle caps. Okay, once you have, again, I'm going to use my pencil to post it through because it makes it easier. Feed it all the way. And then just before you get to the end, tie a couple of knots just so that the string can't pull through. Nice and solid. Then what we're going to do is feed the top for the cap that we've just put on all the way to the bottom and screw it back on. Next bit we're going to put on is our plastic that we've rolled. Feed the string all the way through. And then what you can do, because it's the same size, is wedge it into the lid. And then that's nice and solid. Now our top, then take our lid off. And we've got to do it the opposite way, so we feed this section on first. And that's it there. And then feed our lid on, our cap, onto our string. Twist that back up slightly so we can screw our lid on. What we're going to do is tie a knot in that as well. And there we go. Slightly bigger version of an umbrella. Also, don't panic if you do make the holes in the bottle tops slightly too big. You can always put a bead on the end or a piece of stick or something like that, just so it can't pull through. So don't panic if you do make them too big. It's not the end of the world. Now in these ones, you can put seed, or you can put stale biscuits. But what I'm going to put in there, because not all birds like seed, some of them like something a little bit more meaty. So I've got some cooked bacon fat that I will just cut up and sit in there and then put in my garden. Okay, and the top will keep it all protected from the rain. That's all nice and dry, so that they've got some nice food for when they want it. Okay, so now, as I said before, I want you to have fun and to use your imagination. It does all go towards badges, so keep that in mind, and make sure you send pictures to your leaders or keep a record, and I'll see you on Tuesday.